So I'm live at last. Well, hi to you. I wonder if anyone's going to come in. It's about 11 o'clock at night here in UK, so going to go on for like an hour or so maybe, and I'm going to try and do some quick cards tonight. Just, get through as many people as I can, because there's no one here yet. But in my experience, and I do have some, we do end up with quite a lot of people. And it's an intense weekend this weekend. We've got solar eclipse coming up tomorrow, and then we've got a new moon and summer solstice as well, all happening, all kind of in one weekend. So it's a real intense time. So I've got my chakra cards here, Rachel Shaman's chakra reading deck. I'm going to pull some of these cards. If anybody wants one, talk to me. Let me know if you'd like me to pull a card for you, and that is what I shall do. Live from the ancient woodlands of West Wales here. It has rained so much last couple of days, I thought the place was going to wash away, but it never did. Crazy days. So, I mean, how's it going, everyone? What's actually happening out there? I mean, I know sort of everyone's still like under restrictions of one kind or another because of the crazy health scares that are going on in the world now. But I also see people are getting out there and doing stuff, actually making a difference to the world and to the way everything works, which is a great thing to see. I wonder if anyone, if you're, maybe people are typing on the chat and I just can't see it here, but I've got the thing up in front of me. Have I clicked everything? Crystal Wood, hello, how are you doing? You okay there, Crystal? It's good to see you online. Been a long time since I did a live, actually, but it's been a long time since I had a computer that I could do a live with. I've just dropped a card, right? So let me find it. I'm going to do this card for you, Crystal, okay? Yeah, it looks like you're okay as well, because what we've got here is self-mastery. This is a chakra reading deck, and what color is that? That's the solar plexus chakra, so that's looking pretty good. Looks like your personal power is up, Crystal, and that's what I like to see. But for some reason, we're drawing attention to it here. So maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's an affirmation that things are going the right way. I certainly hope they are. It sounds like it. You've got a nice kind of happy vibe on you there, which is really good. And I've got a happy vibe on me now. Now I can see you on there chatting. Do jump in the chat if you want a reading, by the way, guys. So what are we looking at here? Let me take a closer look at this because it's glaring all over the place, actually. I'm going to have to fix that. Let me just move that salt lamp back a little bit. That's sort of more like it. If I go on this side, it's a bit less glare. It's still pretty glary, though. So, Crystal, I guess you've been sending your thoughts out into the universe. And I know you do some meditation because I know you're that kind of person. But I guess you've been doing some more of that lately, and I guess there are dreams going on as I look at this card for you, Crystal. Dreams going on, and really the overall message of this card is that things are looking good, but it's really all about the connection that we have between the chakras in our body and the Earth Star chakra down beneath our feet and the Soul Star chakra up above our head, because we are all meant to be, in spiritual terms anyway, we're all actually meant to be making that link between the goddess energy, this beautiful world that we live on, and the energy upstairs, the energy of the universe. Because the angels are there, and they're sort of pouring it down to us all the time. But we do need to be linked up somehow. And the real missing link there is when people don't do any meditation or don't kind of do any work towards it. I actually know you do, Crystal, so I'm not there's no criticism there. But whatever dreams you've been having are actually meant to be going on at the moment. That's the thing to say. It does get intense when we've got things like the eclipse and the solstice and everything else that's going on this weekend. But I don't know. You're just shining forth there, Crystal. That's really great to see. I don't know if you haven't done much with your chakras for a while, Crystal. That'd be the way to go, actually, because this has actually got all the chakras represented in it. So nice, nice kind of stretch going on. It's always good to stretch ourselves in it, and I guess you have been, Crystal. Okay, well, thank you so much for looking in. I'll give you that with the love of all those upstairs in the spirit world. And I know there's a few of those looking down on you, and the love of all of us here. Okay, who've we got? CC, Spice of Life. Hello from Ground Junction, Colorado. Oh, not nice to see you. How brilliant to be able to link into people around the world like this, because I'm just like down a little track, and it's wonderful. It's the ancient woodlands of West Wales, but it's kind of cut off from everything else that's going on. Oh, hey, hello to you. You used to dream a lot, but you don't remember if you do anymore. Well, there's the thing, right, RA? Dreams, right? We forget most of what we've had in our dreams within about 10 minutes of waking up. And so if you really want to tune into those dreams, get a pen and paper, have it somewhere by the bed, and write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. I don't do that often enough, you know. I'm like telling you to do something that I hardly ever do myself. But a lot of my kind of spiritual progress and stuff like that has happened when I've been writing those dreams down, because it can just seem like a load of jumbled up crap, if you know what I mean. Just our own sort of experiences from the day all jumbled up, but it does mean something, you know. That's just the way the angels, the way the spirit beings have of getting through to us. Yeah. So let me pull you a card, all right? Feel like it's a blockage, right? Well, as I was reading that, I pulled this card out, and it's green, this one. So these color, I'm really going to have to do something with the lighting in here, guys. I'm sorry about that, but let me bring it up close. It's a green-edged card, and this one's all about the heart chakra for you. And if we're looking at stress in life, well, yes, really, because there's the higher heart and the lower heart. And the lower heart has more to do with like a love of life and the flow of life, you know. The sort of energy behind what actually keeps us going and keeps us pumping. So yes, stress can prevent you from remembering. And the message on this card, which is number 20 in the deck, is actually play. Yeah. So really a good thing for you, if you can, RA, is to get out there and kind of play in the world. Do something that really makes you happy. It can seem like a selfish thing to do that, but it really isn't. If you don't actually have some time to recharge your own batteries, you end up trying to live this life with an empty battery, you know, and you just can't give out to the world the way that you would probably like to. I feel this is giving you some trouble around work as well, actually, if you don't mind me saying that. I know a lot of people aren't able to work at the moment unless you're working from home, which is what I'm doing now. But really try and do something to de-stress and get that stress off yourself, because you can end up carrying a heavy load in a world like this. You really can. And another sort of thing that's showing in this card is these are two dolphins playing together. Is there someone you'd like to actually get close to and work with? I feel work as well as play, you know, someone at work that maybe you could kind of chill out together or go and do something together. I guess people are allowed out in some parts of the world. We're all still locked up in West Wales, UK here. But yeah, you know, a bit more joy, a bit more play. And that is going to bring healing around your heart chakra, all right? And that is going to take you on. That is going to get you kind of further in life when you get back to the actual, the serious side of work. It's going to become easier for you. It's going to make more sense. Things are going to add up and feel right. Life has to have a story. And if you don't feel right, you're not really getting anywhere. Recovering from a heartbreak, right? So we need to think about the pink light of the higher heart chakra as well. Visualize pink, all right? I don't know if you ever meditate, right? But it's a real good thing. Just kind of close your eyes and be quiet. Maybe have some music on if you like. You know, it doesn't have to be silent. And I mean, you can do it in a crowded room if you want, but just kind of close your eyes and visualize, see in your mind's eye, think of that bright pink color, okay? And that'll lift you, because there's got to be a blockage there, which is going to make it hard for you to move on, you know? New love tends to come to us when we're not looking for it. That's just a fact of life, you know? So you're sitting on your pink couch now. Well, that is great, you know? That is the best place for you to be in that case, I think. But as you visualize in pink, visualize a bit of emerald green somewhere along the way, maybe at the beginning or right at the end of your meditation. But just mix that emerald green in with it, and that will raise that sense of play. That will raise that sense of actually being able to do something about whatever it is that makes you unhappy. And that's the main thing, you know. An unhappy life gets to us because we feel we can't do anything about it. If we do something about it, it might not lift us out of all our problems at once, but it's one step along the way to things getting that bit better. You know, that really is what it's about. Okay, so now I'm going to give you that then with the love of the spirit people, my guides who work with me, and I'm sure there are people in the spirit world around you too. All right, I've got the feeling of a recent passing in my mind. I feel it was kind of distant, somewhere quite distant from you and your family. So I don't feel that that's what's actually tearing you apart. But not a nice thought, you know, that someone gets lost. Been planning a move, and you start, great, well, go for it, do it, okay? And yeah, the angels are watching you, I'm sure, because they're watching all of us. But we've all got our own special angel. And I'm sure you've got one too who's looking out for you. Right. So, hey, thanks very much for working with me. And I do really appreciate people coming on and wanting cards, because there's not much point being a medium. There's not much point being a psychic if there's no one to actually help with it, you know. And it's something I love doing. And I always do all right out of it as well, you know. That's a fact. Okay, so who else have we got? CC Spice of Life, would you like me to pull a card? I've changed over. I've got the tarot deck here now. It's not scary tarot. It's all based on Alice in Wonderland, this deck. Hello, Debs. Good evening to you. So let's just see. I did just invite CC. So let's see if Spice of Life is wanting a card. If not, I shall keep moving, you know, no problem. You do not have to have a card. It's always good to talk. It's always good to meet people. Let's have a drink of tea. I'm an Englishman. I have to drink tea. It's the law. And it helps to keep me awake too. Well, good evening to you, Debs. Right, so yes, you would. CC, Spice of Life. Okay, let's have a shuffle then. I've been shuffling away, but I'm going to do it some more. What are we going to tell CC Spice of Life today? And you're in Grand Junction. That's an amazing thought to me. That's something I've only ever really sort of read about in books and thought about that way. The card I've got for you, okay, lost your boyfriend suddenly on April the 14th. Oh no. Well, the card I've just brought up for you, Spice of Life, right? It's and I've got to actually someone in the spirit realm has just told me to tell you to kind of remember that Spice of Life feeling that actually made you call yourself Spice of Life. It's a sort of law of attraction thing, I know, in some ways, that you give yourself a name like that and you draw that kind of spice into your life, which is a wonderful thing. It will actually come back in. But I don't know how well anyone can actually see these cards. But this is for you, Spice of Life, okay? This is, what is it? Strength, and it's number 8. Now, the number 8, that figure of 8, is used in all forms of magic to symbolize eternity. And that means the link between the eternal realms, where the kind of angels hang out there in the universe, and the actual real grounded life that we live on Earth. As above, so below is the saying. And so that's the first thing. Just that number 8 tells me that, you know, everything that's going on in your life is being witnessed from above, and there will be help pouring into you. It'll come to you in your dreams, you know, but I feel that you're dreaming some kind of unhappy dreams at the moment. I'm sorry to still come across that, but things will improve. Things will get better, you know. It's not like you're on a downward spiral. It probably feels like it, but you know, you'll be coming up again. And the thing to do is use all your strength. I'm afraid this card isn't showing up very well at all. But what we've got here is Alice from the Alice in Wonderland book thing, and she's cuddling this deer. It's different to the usual tarot of strength card, because in that one, the person's got her hands in the lion's mouth. This is a very different kind of show of strength here. But she's in this blue forest. And that blue color is really making me think of the spirit realms as well, you know. So you've got spirit people, and you've got family, I guess, too, because it says, I am visiting my daughter and meeting my first grandchild for the first time. Yes, revival jubilee. That is absolutely great, okay, because the whole message of this card is that, you know, things can be better. You have got the strength, you have got what you need, and your family will be a big part of bringing that into your life. Okay, so ever onwards and upwards, that's the way to look at it. Really sorry to see you lost your boyfriend. That is, you know, that's really, really hard thing when you go through a thing like that. It really is. So I'll give you that with love, because I can see more people are coming in, and so I'm going to kind of keep on moving. But thanks ever so much for looking in from Grand Junction tonight. It's really a buzz to connect with you, and I wish you the very best with everything. Yeah. Okay. Aquarius Yazzie, hey, nice to see you. Right. Thanks for joining me. Would you like a card, Aquarius? I haven't forgotten you, Debs, actually. I was just suddenly drawn to Aquarius there, like sort of Aquarius came in at just the right moment. Okay. Right then. You are very welcome, Spice of Life. Very welcome indeed. Okay, Debs, I'm going to come to you. Hope you're still there. Hope I haven't made you get bored. Okay. Oh, yes, but okay. Well, I'm going to do Debs now, because I just kind of quickly shifted on to Debs. But you're next, Aquarius. Okay, I've got that in my head, and I will be with you next. Okay. Debs, though. Right, yay. Here we go. And I hope it is going to be a yay. I have changed again this time, as I hope these cards are going to show up a lot better. Oh, dear, it's terrible. Just 1 second. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to switch my light on. 1 second, okay? Just got to bring the light over. Just got to lift it all up. And just get it switched on here. And then we're going to be in business. Right. Okay, sorry. I hope you didn't think I'd left you there, but I just had to change the light because these cards are not showing up. What have we got now? Still not that easy, but a bit easier to see. Ask an Angel is the card deck that I'm using here for you, Debs. So let me just pick it up and have a shuffle. What are we going to tell Debs tonight, guys? Right, what are we going to tell Debs? Can you relate to a situation around your grandfather, Debs? I've just got the thought of your grandfather coming into my mind here. And the card I've got for you here is... it's Archangel Gabriel, and it's all about communication. It's saying a lot about the heart chakra as well, Debs. It's turning into a heart chakra night, actually. And that is no bad thing, because that's where all our love connections work. And that is a very spiritual thing as well. And so when we're actually in that frame of mind of being open-hearted, we do draw a lot of good things to ourselves. So communication, Debs, do you really need to get in touch with someone? Maybe that someone is yourself, you know, but actually talking things out with someone else can bring you a lot closer to understanding yourself and get you a lot further in terms of letting there be light. Actually, you said it yourself there. Look at the halo of light around Archangel Gabriel there. That is really, really such a positive card. And I'm seeing turquoise in it, you know, right up the top here, this sort of very turquoise scene, turquoise of the sky. And that is the color of the throat chakra. So we've got the heart chakra going on and the throat chakra going on as well. And the throat chakra, Debs, says, speak your truth. Maybe someone's leaning on you not to be too vocal about the things you believe in and the things you actually want to do. When you get to talking about what you actually want to do, right, you're finding it hard to communicate, yeah? Well, you've got a right to speak out, you know, you've got absolutely every right to speak out, because we all come to this earth with some kind of mission, and it's the things that we want to do and the things that we care about that are the most important things to talk about and try and get out into the world and do as well. So really, if you can be open-hearted, Debs, that is going to make it a lot easier to actually speak your truth. I understand this one, I think, right? Because I had a stroke a long time ago, and I still find it quite difficult to talk. That's one of the reasons I do YouTube videos, actually, because it makes me talk and it makes me communicate every day. And that plays out in my life in an easier way. And I used to try and kind of keep things quiet and just keep my own counsel, keep everything to myself, because that way I wouldn't be in that situation where I was trying to communicate and I couldn't get anyone to listen. But actually being open-hearted about the thing makes a massive difference. And if you're there, Mariah guest, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. Good to see the numbers going up. It really is. But yeah, Debs, you see the way this is like a golden robe that the Archangel is wearing here, but it's come open. And there is a lot of feminine energy. I know this is a very masculine card here, but this is a very feminine energy that's going on. Because way back in Hebrew times, Archangel Gabriel was actually Archangel Gabriel. They just kind of changed it around to fit in with Western religion. As they're always doing that, aren't they? To try and kind of, I think they think it helps somehow to put men in charge of everything, but it doesn't really. I mean, I'm a man, and I know I'd get nowhere in spiritual work without the women that I've worked with. It's really important, you know. So celebrate yourself, Debs. Okay, it's anxiety based. Yeah, I can well imagine, you know, because it became an anxiety for me. I mean, in the first place, it was just because I had an illness, which I got over, but it became an anxiety for me. And when you don't feel you can speak your truth, it really does compound yourself. So go ahead and speak your truth and open your heart, right, Debs? And as you're doing that, really, as much as anything, open your mind to the possibilities and keep shooting for it, because people will actually admire the fact that you're trying against the odds to achieve something positive, you know. So go forward and really kind of, you know, don't be afraid to be a bit punchy to get your point across if you have to, okay? Because it's important to get that truth out, yeah? So I'm going to give you that with the love of the Almighty, which I dare to do. That's a big thing to say, isn't it? But, you know, that is just the thing about the Almighty, about the spirit realms. They're all working with us all the time. They really are. Thank you very much for working with me, Debs. Spice of Life, I sound wonderful, do I? Well, thank you. Thank you so much. So it's Aquarius Yazzie next. Aquarius Yazzie, I am loving the purple heart. What we're going to do here, no, we'll do this one. That's what we'll do. Okay. Aquarius Yazzie, purple heart there. I really like that. I get the feeling you're quite a brave person. It's there's the two sides of the purple heart. One is the kind of healing, light, lovely kind of purple healing amethyst energy thing. And the other thing is the purple heart that they give to people who've gone out there and fought bravely in a military way. One of the greatest honors you have in America, as far as I know. Mariah, I tell you what, stick around, Maria. Yeah, I will come to you. I'm not actually running a list because I'm working on my own. And if I stop and type, I'll sort of lose touch with what I'm doing. But stick around. I'm going to try and remember to come to you, Maria or Mariah. But I'm really glad you joined us tonight. I really am. But I promised I would come to Aquarius Yazzie next. So that's where I'm going. Okay. Hold that question, though, Maria. Okay, because I will come to you. I will come to you. And it is always okay to ask a question with these readings, by the way, you know. That's what it's all about, bringing some wisdom down from the spirit world. But Aquarius Yazzie, hey to you. And here we've got the Two of Wands, and it is actually showing up reasonably well without flashing in the light, this one, which is rather good. Hi, Rose, I will try and come to you. Keep on staying positive, whatever you do, right? Anyway, right, Yazzie, so this is the Two of Wands. Now, the Wands is the suit of actually getting things done. It's the suit of that out there energy, really going for it, really making things happen. And you can see, looking at the two wands here that she's holding stuck in the ground, the ribbons are blowing in the wind. And that kind of shows that progress is going to happen. Whether you feel ready or not, Yazzie, that progress is actually going to happen. Things are moving forward, so you might as well move forward with them. Can you see behind her, right? There's this checkered field. It's like when they mow a field all in different directions to make squares or lines. And that represents a game of chess. This is the Alice in Wonderland tarot, and it's a game of chess. And that game of chess is behind her. So it's behind you as well. The game is not over by a long way. In many ways, it's just beginning. But you're not going to get any new information at this point, Yazzie, until you actually move forward. That's when you're going to know more. Sometimes we've got to take a leap in the dark and just get moving, because life is change, isn't it? And as soon as you take that step forward and start making things happen, you're going to find more success coming into your life, okay? So, Yazzie, that's for you. It's a shorter one, but I'm kind of speeding up because there's more people coming in, which is wonderful. And I want to try and get to as many people as possible. But look, there's a clear blue sky there. And since you're an Aquarius, that's a nice kind of color of turquoisey water there. Speaking your truth doesn't seem to be an issue for you, right? But if it is, make sure you speak that truth and make sure that you're kind of true to your path as you go forward. But the main thing, Yazzie, is actually go forward, because it's happening whether you go with it or not. So you might as well go with the flow, and you might as well get involved with it. Okie dokie. Thank you very much for working with me. So I am actually going to have another quick drink of tea, and then it's Maria Guest. What question would you like, Maria? And I'll ask you a question. Am I pronouncing your name properly? Because that might be Mariah. I never know. Will P text you? Okay. Let me think. Right, I just got the word yes came into my head, right? I really think he will. Is it a he even? P. Yeah, he will. P will text you, I'm sure. Not sure about the gender, but I know P is going to text you for sure. Let me see now. We're looking at Monday. I think Monday next week before that actually happens, to be honest. That's the date that's come into my head. Right. It is Maria. I'm glad to hear that. Let me see. Right. In terms of P and in terms of what the text is going to be about, right, it really is the start of a journey. I don't know if P's been putting something off here. Maybe you're kind of going ahead with something and P is kind of holding back. It's a new experience for P. That is the bottom line, okay? And P is afraid of falling down this hole. That's the thing. And this is like the conscience of P trying to stop P falling down the hole, okay? When any two people are working together on anything, whether it's work, whether it's love, friendship, sport, whatever it is, when two people are working together, you're always going to get one who's a bit more, he is a boy. Right, thank you for that. You're always going to get one person or the other who's kind of keener to go forward with a thing than the other one. The other one might be very keen to go with it, but might have worries and concerns, whereas I think you're quite happy to go ahead with this. But all that's happening is he's holding back a bit. He isn't trying to get out of it. I get the strong feeling that he has a feeling of honor towards you, you know. And if he said he'll be in touch, he will be. And I really believe we're looking at Monday of next week. We've got a mad weekend going on at the moment because there's new moon, a solar eclipse, and it's a total solar eclipse as well. And also the summer solstice. And the solar eclipse is when a lot of new things come in and really actually start happening for the first time, or at least, you know, it's a time of firsts. People who've known each other a long time go forward in a new way after a summer solstice. And then we get to July the 5th. That's a lunar eclipse, two eclipses really close together. And that's a time of clearing out the past. So really, by the time you get into July, it's going to be making a lot more sense to both of you, I feel. But yeah, Monday next week, that's what come into my head. And, you know, thanks very much for subscribing to my channel, by the way, as well. And that card I had there, I don't know if you could see the writing on it, but it's number 0. It's the first card in the deck, and it's the beginning of a story. And that card doesn't come up because there's no story. That comes up because there is a story. So, you know, that story is going to unfold. Okay, love it. Thank you very much for working with me. All right, now then, I did say I would come to Rose Island, didn't I? And let's just put that. Makes me think of Rhode Island, makes me think of Family Guy that way, you know. Right, you're trying to stay positive at the moment. Okay, well, aren't we all actually, Rose? You know, I think a lot of us feel stuck in our own world, and I realize you're not just stupidly thinking that it's only you who's trying to stay positive. Obviously, you're aware of what's going on in the world. and that is making so many people feel negative at the moment. It really is. It was getting to me a lot. All I've really done is kind of tried to work from home as much as I can, and that's worked out. But that's quite easy for me because I work at home all the time. I'm a professional psychic. The only thing that's really changed is I used to go out and do spiritualist churches, and I haven't. The last one I did was actually the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, and that's kind of got me down a fair bit, to be honest, But staying positive is all about finding a balance, really, as much as anything. And I'm saying that because this is the card I've pulled. Staying positive is actually about seeing that there are other aspects to any situation. And when one of them isn't working out, you can actually go forward with another one. Right. So what we've got fire on one side and we've got water on the other. So think of the fire signs and think of the water signs, Rose. The two things are radically opposite. If someone's fiery, they're not going to enjoy being watery. And if someone's watery, they're not going to be happy with a lot of fire going on. The two don't really go together. But they are both part of life. All the four elements, earth, wind, fire, and water, are all part of life. They don't always agree with each other. They don't exactly work together, but they are together. That's the fact of it. So think of the two sides of your life, Rose. That's the important thing to do, and look for balance there. Now, this is turquoise blue, so this is the throat chakra. Now, Rose, is it difficult for you, I wonder, to actually talk out what you want to talk out? I don't feel this is so much plans as actually needing to be able to talk to someone about things. And since this has come up, I'm sure there'd be someone out there, Rose, that you could actually talk to about this and make some progress that way. It's the old thing that a problem shared is a problem halved. That's one of those crazy things about life. But look, we've got balance going on here. And these elements are actually perfectly balanced. They're completely on the level on the card. And they're hanging off a really kind of gnarly old tree. It looks like a gnarly situation. So no matter how gnarly things might feel for you, Rose, there is balance available to you. Believe it and seek it out in your life, okay? And speak your truth to make that balance happen, because that's what really matters, okay? And then I think you'll actually feel some fire in your heart as well, Rose, and that'll make you want to push ahead. I really do. Let's take a look at the comments here. Thank you for working with me, by the way, Rose, and thank you for looking in. Hi to you, Damaris. It is holding your message for review for some reason, but it's great to see you, Damaris. How are things in Chicago at the moment, eh? I watched a guy on YouTube who's got a shop in Crystal Lake, and it's just opened again about a week, maybe a week and a half ago, I don't know. And he's just starting to get business in, but it's really kind of slow because people, I guess, are still panicky about the pandemic and all of that craziness. But I can see it's starting to pick up again. Is it like that where you are? That is what I would like to know. Never tell, eh? Right. So you're from Grand Junction, but you're actually visiting your daughter in Rhode Island. Oh, right. Amazing. That's where that came from then. I'm a real Family Guy fan. I probably shouldn't be. I see a lot of racism in it, actually, and a lot of cruelty about disabled people. There's something about how surreal it is. I really kind of enjoy it. I used to be a bit of a quagmire in my younger day. That's an admission, isn't it? I couldn't get away with it now. I don't think anyone would want to know, but that's what I used to be like. Damaris, I've got to do a card for you because it's been ages since I don't think we've ever chatted live like this, have we, Damaris? But it's great to see you here. We are all in need of healing for sure. Hello, all of Phipps. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to do you a chakra card, Damaris, okay? So turning over the top one for you. Number 11, inspiration. And this is an important one, Damaris. It must be because of the way it's come up. Now, this is the sacral chakra. It's orange. So that's the second chakra up from the base chakra. It's kind of around the groin area, and it has to do with appetites and desires. Now, this, I've really had, as long as we've been chatting this evening, Damaris, I've had a feeling that things need to kind of become just more interesting in your life so you're not stuck at home as much. you're in need of healing, and I hope things are starting to lift for you, because I guess if it's happening in Crystal Lake, it's happening elsewhere in Chicago. I don't know how far away Crystal Lake is for you, but I know it's the same area, same kind of jurisdiction. So I'm sure things are opening up, okay? But just keep on burning, keep the fires burning. That's what's coming to me here, because it's a very fiery kind of orange. And I feel that what you're seeking in life is actually going to be coming to you. I think things are really going to be in your life. You're going to feel back to normal in the sense of how happy you feel by about kind of late August, early September at the latest. But you're going to start feeling that healing coming in pretty soon. You know, things are going to be looking up pretty soon, because the sun is shining in between the clouds here. That's the main thing, all right? We've got blue above, we've got blue below, and that to me is like cleansing water. There's a flow going on in the sky in this card as we look at it, and that to me is like all the cleansing of water, you know? So just visualize that in your meditations tomorrow. Visualize the flowing water, clearing away the crap and bringing newness in along with it, you know, to really kind of refresh things and take things forward for you. That's what really needs to happen, you know. Okay, thanks for working with me. I love you too, darling. Thank you for looking in tonight. Great to talk to you live. It really is. I must do this more often. I've got a new computer, right? That's what's got me on live tonight. I've had so much trouble with old computers because I always buy old ones and they fall apart. So I got a nice shiny new one. I've been doing lots of readings on Instagram, and I saved up some money and I thought, God, I can go live with this. I tried it and it's working so far. All right, can you give insight on why it is so hard to heal for certain people that refuse to give you closure? I feel it keeps us stuck. When they leave us without answers, it's bound to, right? Because it's a fact of life in psychology, all right, that life has to feel like a story, you know, and a lot of people's psychological problems really kick in when excuse me, I'm just getting some different cards out here. People's psychological problems can really, really kick in when the story suddenly changes direction or stops happening altogether. It's just like bang, it's as if you were running along and your heart's beating fast and you suddenly stop and your heart's still beating fast, but everything stops and you don't know why. People climb up. That's the most basic way I can put it. People just climb up and they don't then they don't want to be open, you know. They don't actually want the story to continue. They want to stop and kind of wait and see what happens. That's the other side of it psychologically. What I will say though is closure is going to come to you, all right? I'm really sure that closure will come to you. Let's just pick a random card for you again. What we got? 5 of Cups. Okay, this shows that bereavement has happened, okay, but you can actually move forward. I pulled this card actually for this weekend in a video that's on my channel at the moment, and the bottom line is there are beautiful colors in this card, but it looks really drab, and that's because the colors aren't gelling and flowing together. But you could take all those colors out if you had them in separate paint pots and paint a really, really nice picture. So there's a kind of jumbled upness, and that is because things are suddenly stopped and it's like poof, you know, everything jumbles up because it's as if it's hit a wall. But to try and move on from that, just trying to move on from that is going to really bring you on in leaps and bounds. It's like an affirmation. I feel that you're really ready to move forward from this, and if they're not ready to move forward from this, just keep on moving, okay? Because you will find things that serve you a lot better. And as we go on through next week, it is going to be a time of getting rid of what no longer serves you, what no longer suits you, and getting on with your own journey, okay? Really important. Full of flip side to you, readings are free, yes they are, and I will actually do you one now. I'm not running a queue tonight, guys. I don't actually have anyone working with me to keep a list for me or anything like that. And I find that if I try to keep a list, I get distracted and then things don't work, you know. I don't really get into what I'm saying enough, and I don't don't get enough into what the cards are trying to tell me or what people are trying to tell me. But all the FIPS, hello Liz, nice to see you. I shall come to you as well before long, Liz. But right now, all the FIPS, I've got a feeling, I've got a feeling there's a question you'd like to ask me, Orla. If there's a question you'd like to ask, you go ahead and type it in now, okay? But I'm going to crack on because I've got a card for you already. And this one is number 4, and it's the Emperor. So number 4 is the angel number. As many of us are into angels, we find that is the angel number. It's also the number of kind of squareness and things being set in this life. If we get the 4 of Wands in tarot, we're in a comfortable position. Something very comfortable and something very solid all about the number 4. So bringing this card up for you is really positive. It's also from the major arcana part of the tarot deck. So it will be personal to you. Whatever this card is talking about is going to be close to your heart in a big way. Let me just look at it. Okay, because the color's going to get distorted in my screen. Hope you guys can see them properly. Right, the Emperor is wearing a purple robe here. So there's a lot of healing involved. There's also a lot of flowing water, which is one of the best ways there is of actually cleansing things and keeping the flow of life going. And the thing about this, Orla, is that the flow of life is still going on for you. I get the impression you maybe feel that you're kind of stuck, got some stuck energy there. But this is what the Emperor's all about, really. He knows that there's a season for everything. And he knows that kind of you have to store up some energy to use when times aren't flowing quite so well. So if things are feeling stuck for you at the moment, Orla, use that time to kind of squirrel away whatever energy and resources you can to sort of build up some energy so that when you can pick the time when the time is right and you can blast off into the world and really make things happen. I really do think that's going to happen for you as well. I can see a release coming for you. I'm thinking October. That's what's coming into my mind. Now, that sounds like the other end of the year, but we really are nearly in the middle of the year now. So we're talking about 8 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that. Things get moving. I feel that's in matters of love, but I also feel it's around careers and just getting life moving again, getting back into the flow of things. Cool. Excuse me, I need more tea. I must have tea all the time. It's a British thing. It's the law. But yeah, number 4, the Emperor says, things do have to be rationed sometimes, but that is only to keep the continuity of life flowing, and it's to keep the healing nice and free as well. There's not that much purple on him, but it is actually the color of the outside of his coat. So there is loads of healing going on there. That is from the Starman Tarot, which was, it's made up of images that David DeAngelis drew for David Bowie. So, it's all kind of part of that. Very Florida, beautiful deck. It wasn't cheap, but then again, nothing really good is cheap, is it? Okay. Now then, Liz Crafts, let me come to you. Good to see you. Feels like a hurricane, all right. Okay. Yeah, we all want answers, but answers are out there. They're coming, It's like when you put money in a vending machine and it gets stuck and like the thing's going round, but your bag of potato chips or your can of drink or something won't actually fall down. It's just like that. Sooner or later, you give life a bit of a thump and it all drops down and it starts working. And you get your answers. Then you get what you want. Okay. Liz, you keep seeing 55 and 133. Well, if you keep seeing it and you're drawn to it, I guess that actually means something. I'm just thinking numerology. 55. It has that feeling of just over halfway about it, doesn't it? As if you're not just about to start on the next leg of your journey, but as if you're actually into it, as if that energy is actually beginning to flow for you, Liz. Let me see. And 133. That's an interesting one. But 13 is such a lucky number, isn't it? And so is 33 as well. A very magical number, 33. I can't remember the full thing about it, but it ties into nearly all the major religions, the number 33 does, which is why it's kind of such a big thing. 133 is your address. Well, you see, you might have found yourself living at 133 because 133 is a significant number for you. Okay, that's what I really think. And so March 13th, maybe 13/3. That's it. In UK, we'd say it's the 13th of the 3rd. I know it's the other way around with you guys. And there isn't a 33rd month, so it can't be 133. But Liz, I've pulled you a card. Let's see if this sheds some light on it. I hope it will. This, right, is the sheep shopkeeper. She's the Queen of Pentacles. And Pentacles is about everything coming together. And it's also, this is the Alice in Wonderland tarot. And it's also all about Alice going on further to the next leg of her journey, actually. It really is. The other place we see the sheep shopkeeper is it's in the suit of wands, and she's going on that journey across water. So this is beyond that, Liz. Okay, you've been on that journey across water for some time, and I know you've kind of got quite a cheerful personality, and you've been thinking positive and looking positive, and that pays off now because you're actually coming into stiller, calmer waters. So we are looking at a phase for you, Liz, of things starting to work out and going better. I'm really sure of that. Now, the story of the sheep shopkeeper card, you see Alice is sitting up on the shelf there, and Alice comes into the shop and she's shopping for what she wants. So maybe that's you, Liz. Maybe you're kind of looking around for what you want. And what you've got to do is take yourself off the shelf and just kind of live with that and all your gifts. Be aware of all the gifts that you've got. In the story of this, Alice actually asks for an egg. The sheep shopkeeper says to Alice that she can have anything she likes off the shelf because she's earned it. And Alice actually chooses an egg at that time. And so that's a symbol of like fertility, and something new is going to grow. And because it's an egg, that thing has already been formed. It's just waiting in the egg. So we're looking at some kind of transformation for you, Liz. Okay, now we were talking earlier, and I know that you're moving on to a new job before very long. This is a question of making that your own, of actually deciding that you're going to go forward, take that leap of faith, take a shot in the dark, if you will, because life is change, and it's changing around you anyway, whether you're kind of welcoming that into your life or not. It is actually changing around you, and it is actually changing for you. So be a part of that change, Liz. That's the thing to do. Get up and grab it. It's yours. That's words from an old English punk song from when I was young. And now I'm old, and now I'm an old English card reader myself. But yeah, life has to have that story about it. That's the theme we've got tonight. Something is about to change or move forward. Yeah, it really is, Liz, because with the pentacles, it's earth, water, fire, and air all working together. And that's the 4 points lower down on the pentacle. And the top point on the pentacle, that's the divine influence. That's the angels. That's the spirit realms coming together. And everything spiritual about you is actually going to be in charge of this next step. So really do take charge of it, okay? Because it's yours. It is there for you. And that's how you need to be looking at it. It really is. Okay. I also wanted to say to you, right, what we were saying about the Eight of Wands, okay, that is fast-moving progress. This is a card that I pulled in a video the other day. That is fast-moving progress for sure. I wonder if I can find it. So I've got another Eight of Wands in this deck somewhere. Now, I'll be here all night if I try to find it. It's not falling out of the deck anyway. But that Eight of Wands, it is a real positive thing. Quite often we're being whisked along the road of life in a way that we weren't really ready for. But, things happen around us. Stuff happens, doesn't it? And it's happening in a positive way. And again, that 8th thing, it's as above, so below. Someone up there is watching. Someone up there cares. And someone up there knows the plan. And it's frustrating because you don't know the plan yet. But go and grab it, like in the sheep shopkeeper's shop there. Go and grab it off the shelf because you deserve it. It is all there for you, Okay, now then, I've just dropped some cards, so I'll pick them up. There we go. Sorry, you probably saw in my ear there when I did that, but can't be helped. We've all got ears, and I've got some as well. I've got some quite big ones, actually. Right. Whew. Well, my friends, it is 10 minutes to midnight here in UK. It's really great to connect across the pond, and I've really been enjoying doing this session. I'm not going just yet. I'm just going to push on a little bit more, okay? Because 4 cards fell out of my deck, and I'm tempted to read them as a 4-card reading for anyone who's still watching. So if you've been watching tonight and you haven't asked for a card and you've held back, coolio, this is for you, and this is for everyone, whether you've had a card or not, actually. Excuse me. So the first thing that came out, 7 of Pentacles. We got Pentacles energy again. As I said just a minute ago, the Pentacles is all about the 4 elements: earth, water, air, and fire, all working together under the auspices of the divine. You know, the divine side of things is really working for you. And especially at this time when so many of us are under restrictions and can't go out and do the things we want to do. It is there, it is working for you, and it's, you know, stuff is going to be happening. Things are on stop here. Yeah, the guy is the gardener guy here has stopped, and he stood back and took a look at it. We've got a lot of fruit on the tree, but the tree itself is very spindly. It's not really big enough to support all that fruit. And we've got the raven or the crow or whoever he is, that big ominous looking blackbird saying, hey, you know, think about this. So stop and think for sure. Take this time of being stopped. Take this time of the stuck energy as something you can move forward on, as a springboard to kind of get forward by examining what you've got now, consolidating it, making it as strong as you can. Next one, we got 5 of Wands. Well, this is a pointless battle, and what's really going on here doesn't need to be going on. Yeah, I love crows as well. I'm surrounded by them here, Damaris. I really am. 5 of Wands. The battle here really is much more to do with people's egos. Everyone involved in this battle says that they're actually trying to get something really positive to happen in a really positive way, but really it's egos. So as you're trying to move forward, my friends, think about other people's egos. It's really good if you can step forward without standing on anyone else's tail. That's a fact of life. But people's egos will get involved in absolutely everything, because that's what we're about as people. Next card, we got 7 of Swords. So as you're moving on from that crazy battle, this is a trickster, okay? Now, the swords are all about cutting the crap and getting things to happen and making decisions to get things to happen. And as you're deciding things, the things in life that take away from us are very often teaching us a lesson, and it's very often a valuable lesson. This is like the way maybe a computer hacker gets hired by a big bank to try and hack their system, because that way it keeps everyone safer, because the bank learns where its system is being weakened. So really positive things can come out of people being a trickster. And maybe someone who's getting to you, someone who you feel is getting at you, is actually teaching you something of value. And they hate it, those people. They're trying to mess us about, and we learn something from it and we stand proud. Last card here we've got is the Ace of Swords, okay? And that is real alchemy. That's all I can say about this. We've got the flowing water, we've got the mountain scene, but we've got a clear blue sky. And whatever you do to decide to move forward, that is going to have repercussions in the divine realms, and that is going to work for you. Candy Bear, hi to you. All right, leaving the chat now. Well, thank you very much as well, actually. It's been a pleasure to meet you, and it's been a pleasure to do some readings for you. I am actually going to wrap this one up now, guys. I really am. Except for Candy Bear, if you want a card, Candy Bear, I will do a card for you, okay? Just type something in now. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up because I want to go to bed. I'm tired. But I'll do a card for you, Candy Bear. That would be no bother at all, if you would like one. Yeah, you have a fantastic night too, Liz. Thank you. I'm off to bed now. I hope I dream some interesting dreams that give me something to think about this weekend. Have a happy summer solstice, by the way. Have a great eclipse. It's a good time for manifestation if you really want to sort of make things happen. This weekend is a great time because the solar eclipse is a time of new things coming into being in a big way. Kate Methel. Oh, go on, Kate. I'll do you a card. So it's actually the winter solstice for Kate. So that things are going to move on, aren't they, Kate? Because we're actually coming into the time of year when the nights start getting darker, and your nights are going to start getting lighter, and things are going to be happier over there. I know. Yeah. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, everything. Yeah, happy Lisa to you as well. Really. Okay, but a card for Kate. Okay, I want to try and make this an hour. It just kind of feels good that way. So a card for Kate. Can't do that one about a minute ago. No, I'm going to do it again. This came up before. Okay. Yeah, wonderful meeting you, and subscribe to the channel, CC, because that is the spice of life. That's what I'm always trying to play into. So I've got this card for you as well, Kate. It's the energy of the moment, actually. I'm not too surprised it came up twice tonight. So for you, Kate, someone's been playing a game around you, or something's been holding you back, you know, and you want to get moving forward. Well, the wind is blowing in this card. The wind of change is blowing. Because you can see it's 8:50. Is it really? God, it's just about midnight here in UK on a Friday night. Next thing that's going to happen after I've been to sleep is going to be 8:56 a.m. Saturday morning, I think. But look, Kate, right? The winds of change are blowing, right? You can see that because the ribbons are blowing on the wands in this card. And Alice is hanging on to the wands because the wands are what's going to get things done. But she's hoping for some new information. There isn't going to be any new information until she actually takes that step forward and starts trying to make things happen for herself. Even if she doesn't actually know what's going to happen. Life is changed. Life keeps on changing. And it's happening to you, Kate. But it's a fruitful scene. There are flowers everywhere. Okay, and I guess there are flowers in your garden now, which might not be there soon when the nights start drawing in and things start getting dark. But hey-ho, that is the way it goes. And it doesn't seem like 5 minutes ago, actually, that we were having the winter solstice and you were having the summer solstice. Must have been 6 months ago. Good gosh, doesn't time fly? But that is the thing. Time does actually fly, Kate. So do go with the flow of it, my friend. Really do. Okay. And the next pieces of the puzzle aren't going to really come for you until you take a step forward, Kate. They're waiting to happen. Okay. So I'll give you that with Spirit's love. I'll give you that to everyone with Spirit's love. Thank you very much for listening to a tired out Englishman. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. Share this with friends if you've enjoyed it too. And join me again soon when I'll be back to do another live for sure. Okay. In the meantime, have a great solstice weekend. Have a great total solar eclipse, which is coming up. Get your manifesting head on. That is the time to actually draw in newness, to really get life's pattern moving. Really is the time, okay? And so, have a great weekend, because there's a great weekend waiting to happen to you. That's what I'm saying. Love and light, all love and light to you, Debs. I'm absolutely certain that time flies, Kate. Last time I looked, I was a young teenager, and now look at me. No stopping it. Okay, thanks everyone. I'm going to say good night then. Love, light, and peace, and see you very soon. Bye-bye.